The great educator Michael Jordan and What's Cooking on Wine Friday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific on CRN.
Welcome to Heaven on Earth, a sacred portal to visualizing, meditating, and co-creating our highest joys that usher in the Golden Age of Aquarius. I'm your host, Athena StarSeed. Hi, this is Athena StarSeed. Welcome to a show called Heaven on Earth. I have my gorgeous co-host, Kim Hix, all the way from Hawaii, who's an Emmy Award-winning set designer and artist. He actually made it through the portal and gets paid to be who he is. Welcome, Kim Hix. Aloha.
Aloha from the center of the Pacific Ocean.
Hey, I'm so excited. So we are in studio here. I want to just do the opening invocation and then introduce our guests, okay? So if you're there right now, just take a moment to go inside. Take a nice deep breath. Ground yourself, and let's all exhale on an Om. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light return to earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. Let Christ return to earth. In the center where the will of God is known, let the center guide the little wheels of men, the center which the masters know and serve. And may it seal the door where evil dwells. And may the plan of love, light, and power restore heaven on earth. Om, om, om. Okay, we're in. We have in studio little Reverence Bell and David Alexander English. Welcome to Heaven on Earth.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much. So Kim, I wanted to pick up kind of where we left off on the last show about, remember the children and the march and what was happening with our kids. And we were talking about having art be a creative solution to all of their anxiety, separation, and depression.
Boy, that is the central issue of our time. It's the frustration and alienation of our youth. And that's because we've abdicated our true responsibility to nurture and be family-like and tribal-like and help everyone, all the kids. We should be observing all our children and taking care to nurture them, especially the ones who have problems and need help in this culture. Vitally important. March went really well. We had 5,000 people here in the pouring rain, and the kids came out in full strength. It was beautiful to see. It's a new consciousness and a thoroughly active, proactive generation. I just see brilliance written all over them and change bringers. These are the kids.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about art and how, you know, they've been taking art out of the schools, but Reverence actually is in a Waldorf school, and they're very, very inspired by the kids painting and writing and doing handwork with crocheting and also wax. They use wax and they use molds and clay to teach them literature and mathematics. So David was going to tell us a little bit kind of about the connection from Rudolf Steiner and esoteric traditions and how that's being put into the children's art.
Is that what I'm going to do?
That's what you're going to do.
Those are the mystic schools.
Oh, you don't have to put that up yet because we're not.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So Steiner's a really interesting character because, you know, he, like most of us, started out as a seeker and a follower, and then he came to a place where he realized that he was it, you know, that there wasn't anybody that knew more than him. It's not like he knew more than others, but there wasn't anybody else that knew more than he did. And he just, at some point, you just have to go in your own direction. And he saw, one of the main things that he saw, the foundations of Waldorf education, from what I gather, is that the value in investing in the children, investing in the future generations, and trying to design an environment that is the most conducive to a soul coming into this life and realizing what it is that they chose to come here for.
Boy, that's it, right there.
That's the whole point of, of tribal upbringing, is that whole thing about it takes a village. In Hawaii, in the Polynesian tradition, when a person reached the age of around 12 to 14 years old, they would go through the lomi lomi. Most people know lomi lomi as, it means breaking up into little pieces. It's a Hawaiian temple massage. But the purpose of that was to essentially, the whole community would get together and massage this person from head to toe. There'd be like 6 people massaging this person for up to 10 days after a purification of, fasting and cleansing and whatnot. And the whole point was to get that person to a place where they were able to realize why it is that they chose to come to Earth. That's
a great
what
description of that process.
Education is supposed to be. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's right.
I missed you.
That's exactly what education is supposed to be, but we take it to be setting us up for the external world, but it's really to be acknowledged by your tribe, by your people, by your planetary visitation here. This idea of nurturing that Steiner brought on became, of course, the backbone of the hands-on, tactile, interactive developments in education that, in arts and sciences both, that really became our modern new world of consciousness, and has been a tremendous asset these days in taking over where the formalities are letting go, because everybody wants their right brain and their expansion and their consciousness to be explored and experienced and experimented with. So it's good stuff, real good stuff. And reverence is a pretty good example of what Athena's doing, is just keeping that girl wide open. And what a thrill that she stumbled into the Waldorf system, which is pretty good. We can do this for everybody globally. We should be right on it. David, you do such great work. This is good thinking. I always love your articulation is is beautiful, my friend, beautiful. And you're quite the artist too at this. So how about we do a great playground of arts playground? I mean, LA is an arts playground.
And it's the world stage at the same time.
Yes.
And so you're playing with the big toys and the big boys with the big pants.
Yeah. No, we are the Hollywood is the broadcast center of the universe, and we can alter consciousness by activating Hollywood at its lower consciousness level and getting it to rise. This is you're absolutely right about it being sort of the center of the universe in a way. This is where the broadcast central wheelhouse of our mythologies is generated.
Great piece. Show this piece.
So what I'd like to do now, Kim, is I'd like to show Reverence's art, since we're talking about children and expressing themselves. And so she has what's called a magic book. Can you see that? Can everybody see that? She's got a magic book. And she painted the sacred rose. Reverence, do you want to tell us a little bit about the painting?
It's amazing.
Or the drawing? Okay, go ahead.
So, we were in school, and this is the first magic book we ever had, and the teacher gave it to us. And when the teacher gave it to us, we had very fun making all the drawings in it. But this is the first drawing that we ever did, and it was about the rose.
Can you explain the drawing?
So this is the side of when it's nighttime, and this is the side when it's the morning. And it's combining the rose with the morning and the night.
Yes.
And these are stars and the moon.
So Waldorf really wants to teach them through actually drawing characters, even for some of the letters. So is this your alphabet magic book? You have to put this so you can talk. This is for you to talk.
No, but it's a different one that you're going to see in the next page, I think.
How about this one?
It's the page after that. So the one here, we have a page. It's like this. It's about a little bear. This is the one where you have I just do this. This is the one where it's like a dragon's hill, and the dragon's body is completely on the hill.
And what did you learn? Was there a story that went with this art? Did she tell a story in your school?
Yeah, but I don't technically remember it, but I do. I remember.
Should we pick a page that you remember so you can share the art with your pages?
Sure.
All right, so let's pick a page you remember. So they have these magic books, and they learn the alphabet, and the alphabet has stories and characters. So as they learn the letters and the sounds and the phonics, there is a magical story with the art. So do you want to show one of them?
This is the one I want to show, and then there's another one I want to show. This
Okay.
is this isn't even a story. So it's basically, it helps us learn by this is called a straight Nate and a cranky cursed grandma. It kind of looks like a C, but it's a cranky cursed grandma, and it looks like this. It's a very simple drawing, actually, though.
It is. Okay. So is there something else you want to show us? Let's do a story.
Sure.
Let's do the King story, because this is a good one.
Oh, I think I
Okay.
remember this one.
So this one, they're teaching the letter K in school, right? Okay,
So
and there's a king.
the one, I think once upon a time there was the king, and he wanted to go out, but he lived in a castle, so his dad said he couldn't go out. But then one day he asked his dad, said, please, please, and please, and his dad let him go out on his horse, and he didn't come back for a long time. And then he learned how to talk to the frogs and the dogs. Dog and frog.
And were
Right.
there birds there?
And he also learned how to talk to the birds.
The birds, okay.
And then he looks like a K because this drawing was about the letter K.
And so was that easier for you to remember now that you have the drawing with the king?
Yes.
Yeah. and what do you love? So you have how many magic books? 6? This is a really cool one. Let's end on this one.
That one.
What's that?
This one's similar to the other one. And
This looks like a big dragon. Let's
Yeah.
just stay right here, okay? Because we only have a couple minutes before commercial break.
so this one is the one where we did a dragon. I don't remember this story, but I do know. I don't think I was at school for this story, but this was the story of a dragon, is what I think.
Yeah, a dragon, huh?
Mhm.
And you like the colors. And are you having fun in school?
Mhm.
So I think you have 6 of these books, and it's not just for art, but it's for the alphabet, but it's also for math, right?
This one is for the alphabet, but my other ones are for math. I have a math one too.
What color is that one?
That color, I think it's either purple or... It should be the next one I have.
It should be the next one? Okay. All right, well, Reverence, thank you for sharing that. I really feel, Kim, that getting these kids into art at such young ages and allowing them to continue to create their life full of play, that it's going to be easier for them to have more emotional intelligence so that they can communicate their feelings. And I think that's what they were missing in Florida, full circle.
It's certainly what they're missing. We're all missing. We're tending toward an arts culture. I mean, once we realize that we have all the material bases covered and we can reduce our dependency on the economic flow, then we become a full-on arts culture, and that's when the creativity really comes on. Rev and her generation are being nurtured for the gifts they're bringing. This is the first generation in a long, long time to be nurtured in such a way.
Thank you so much. This is Athena StarSeed. This is a series called Heaven on Earth, and we'll be back after these commercial messages. Thanks.
Hi, everyone. This is Fred Dreyer with some breaking news. My new movie, Highway 395, has just been released. Highway 395 is my latest movie and is now available for all of my friends and listeners to own. Highway 395 is a classic modern-day Western thriller. Action, romance, and the frontier spirit. It's all there in my new movie, Highway 395. Now, here's the best part. You can own this movie tonight by going to my brand new website, freddryer.co. Head to my website now at freddryer.co and check out the trailer. Then order the movie for a great night of entertainment. And while you're at freddryer.co, check out the memorabilia and my career highlights. But don't forget to order my new action thriller movie, Highway 395. So head over to freddryer.co. That's freddryer.co.
Do you like burgers? Then experience the ultimate famous 50-50 burger at Slater's 50-50 in Pasadena, California. 50% ground beef and 50% ground bacon. Stop by at 61 North Raymond Avenue in Pasadena and visit Slater's 50-50. Experience our full bar with craft beer and more. Play in our cool new game room. View the best sports in our Slater's 50-50 TV lounge. Try our Slater's 50-50 burgers by design too, and all of our incredible food, including our Sunday Bloody Mary brunch. Check out our VIP event space for private dining and ask about our chef-inspired catering company with a completely scratch kitchen-based service. It's all at Slater's 50-50 under new management at 61 North Raymond in Pasadena. Call 626-765-9700. 626-765-9700. Call now, 626-765-9700.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS? Newsflash, the president has changed the tax laws, and now you may be able to pay the IRS less. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, the tax doctor can help you pay the IRS as little as possible allowed by law. There are new tax laws for business owners, the self-employed, even W-2 workers. If you have a back tax problem or a few years of unfilled returns, new help to save you money is now here. Call right now to see how the new tax laws can help you. Plus, right now, we'll waive the consultation fee and give you a free tax savings report. Attention business owners, the self-employed, and W-2 workers. Make this free call to the tax doctor now and learn how to take advantage of the new tax laws that may help you pay the IRS less. 800-985-1610. 800-985-1610. 800-985-1610. That's 800-985-1610.
Supreme grace, light rain down through me. Supreme grace, light rain down through me. Supreme grace, light rain down through me. Rain. Supreme grace, light rain down through me.
Hi, this is Athena StarSeed, and we are on a series called Heaven on Earth. I can't hear. Yeah, there you go. That's better. Heaven on Earth, and we are right back in studio with David Alexander English and our beautiful co-host Kim Hix, all the way from Hawaii. And today I want to start off here with the Tarot card, the Devil. And Kim, you have any thoughts on the Devil card?
Card. It calls to mind immediately the shadow side of our own impulses and our lower chakra consciousness and how we can get entrapped by it. But it doesn't mean it's all negative. It certainly means that human nature often slips in that direction. But there's a great understanding at being able to see how the true human nature weaves into this. The very most interesting thing for me about it is that the image of the devil is done as a satire from the old Greek mythologies, and he was virtually the old pantheistic horny goat. So this is the concept of giving in to the lustfulness in the forest and kind of an unclean spirited being, and yet very bound by nature. But he's also a very interesting phenomena about the goat is that he's the goat character is he's a scapegoat. And it's always, the devil made me do it, and you don't accept responsibility for it. She did this to me. He said that. He did this, and it's very interesting. However, the card has some beautiful symbolism with the naked lovers, and they're chained to this door, this dark, presumable cave that you can go in, and their tails are both on fire. But the chaining is not a real enslavement. What you don't realize until you look at the card, you realize that both of these lovers could escape easily by slipping these chains off. So this bondage is a voluntary bondage. And the thing that's so interesting about the devil here, too, besides his great horns, is that he's got bat wings. And the bat wing symbology, of course, is the vampire aspect of lust and love, where you wind up sucking the energy out of each other rather than nurturing it. So we need to look for the inversion of this card, the magnificence of the true lovers in the aspirations of the higher arcana rather than the lower arcana. This represents the stepping down into the lower arcana, and we need to step into the higher arcana and bring love to the highest levels of consciousness. So it's a great card.
So I was talking to David, and he was talking about the devil also being representative of the dragon.
Right.
Oh, I'd love to hear that.
Yeah. So the way I look at I designed my own deck of cards, a couple of them, but I wanted them to. It's not the tarot system; it's its own system, and I wanted to create this deck that was had only light in it, had nothing fearful at all.
Beautiful.
And what's interesting is the devil card is the card that most people feel fear when they see it. That and death, because most people are afraid of death. And, the whole concept of the devil is something that's, if you take away the D, what do you have? And
evil.
Exactly. and so there's a mythology around the existence of evil. To infinite consciousness, there's no such thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
And, there isn't anything but infinite consciousness. There's only infinite love. There's just the one, the source of infinite love, the source of infinite consciousness. So there isn't anything that can exist unless it is an aspect of the source of infinite consciousness. And so the thing also about the tarot is originally there were no words on the cards. And so this card didn't have a name. These cards didn't have names. They're designed to be mirrors. Wow. So whatever you bring is what you see.
That's interesting, David. So your attitude toward the card is what you see. You see yourself reflected back in it.
Every time.
Yeah.
I used to do readings for a living on the boardwalk and all over the world, right? 60 seconds. So what we have here is you brought it up earlier, the concept of Pan. And we also have, this card is about, in essence, is about fear, is about facing your fears and transcending the illusion of fear. So, we could get deeper into it, but we only have a couple of seconds.
And we're getting ready to go to a commercial break, but this is a show that wants to give you the portal of possibilities to step through the door of fear and into the you in the universe. This is Athena StarSeed. We'll be right back after these commercial messages. You little devils.
Hi everyone, this is Fred Dreyer with a big announcement. My new movie, Highway 395, has just been released. Don't miss this classic modern-day Western set along Highway 395 in California. It's an action thriller with some romance, too. You can own Highway 395 today by going to my brand new website, freddryer.co. That's freddryer.co. Get my new movie, Highway 395, and check out my new website, freddryer.co.
When you really want Italian food, you have got to go to Columbo's. Columbo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club, Colorado Boulevard, Eagle Rock. It's that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Ah, yes, the warm weather has triumphantly returned, and the yucca filamatusa are in bloom just in time for Mother's Day. And what better place to enjoy the day than celebrating at Columbo's? Why Columbo's? Because Columbo's is family, and family is getting together, enjoying each other's company without distraction. Columbo's helps put ease back into our lives with mouth-watering steaks prepared the way you want. The the freshest fish, Italian specialties that redefine the meaning of comfort food, the world's greatest meatballs, jazz every night, and it's all so affordable. Put some ease back into Mother's Day at Columbo's, because it really is that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Happy Mother's Day. Manja.
Do you want to fly somewhere, anywhere in the world? Smart travelers call myflightsearch.com for the best deals on flight tickets. Going to Manila, Bangkok, London, how about Singapore? Call myflightsearch.com for the lowest flight tickets available. What about a local vacation? Let's say you want to fly to Vegas, Orlando, Miami, Los Angeles, or Denver. Pick up the phone and call myflightsearch.com right now. We have exclusive deals that you can't find anywhere else. The only way you can get these low airline prices is by calling us. We have so many low prices available, we can't possibly tell them to you right here and now. If you're flying somewhere anytime in the next 6 months and you want the lowest airline ticket prices anywhere, you owe it to yourself to save a ton of money. So pick up your cell phone and call myflightsearch.com right now.
Call 800-445-3166. 800-445-3166. That's 800-445-3166. Call now. 800-445-3166.
Aloha! Experience your home away from home being beachfront at the Kanapali Beach Hotel. Begin your getaway relaxing on over 11 acres of tropical Hawaiian gardens at Hawaii's most Hawaiian hotel, voted Best Aloha Spirit by Hawaii magazine readers. Just walking around the grounds with all the tropical vegetation, relaxing poolside, or kicking back in the sun on the world-renowned Kanapali Beach makes you feel like you're home in paradise. There's a package to fit all your needs: wedding, honeymoon, activities, private parties, great food, or just good old beach fun. The hotel perpetuates the Hawaiian tradition at its best. Call 661-0011 or visit kbhmaui.com.
Kanapali Beach Hotel, Maui's Hawaiian Hotel.
Trying to sell your old car? Instead, donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind. Pickup is free and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats, whether they run or not. Call right now and receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call 1-800-785-9618. Donate your car today. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Supreme grace, let it rain down through me. Supreme grace, let it rain down through me. Supreme grace, let it rain down through me. Supreme grace, let it rain down through me.
Athena StarSeed, and we are on a show called Heaven on Earth, and this is a portal of possibility to get your heart chakra open into your own artistry, because we believe that basically the avatars are the artists of this planet, and beyond religion or political structure or wealth or any type of dominance in capitalistic society, really the artists are going to be showing the way. The Fool of the Tarot, walking through the journey of life, painting and doing poetry and singing and dancing and bringing forth the art. That is the new golden age of enlightenment. And so welcome back, Kim Hix and David Alexander English. And we were just kind of recapping this tarot card. And we were talking, Kim, about the sacred geometry of the pentagram and how it mirrors the body in fractals. You want to jump in, Kim?
Wow, I love that notion. The Pentagon's very interesting because with it's representative very much of the human, especially with the point facing up, because we have a head, which is the north point, and the east and west, which are the arms, and the legs of the south, and etc. So you have the five-pointed humanoid, but the upside-down humanoid, or the inverted pentagram, of course, points to the dark energy rather than the uplifting light energy that is the human consciousness breaking out. So I find that always a very interesting symbol, and the use and placement of it. But I also love that it's an odd number wheeling one line. It's a one-line shape. It's beautiful, the way it weaves itself around. Very symbolic. David, you must have painted a few in your time.
Think? There's a way that you can do a one line with the sixth harmonic as well with the hexagram.
So it's a weaving geometry.
You can
too.
do that. There's a way that you can do it with the 7 and all of them. You can just keep going. The 5 harmonic is what I was just talking about the relationship of the pentagram to the orbit of Venus. And are you familiar with that at all?
No, I'm not.
It's it out for you.
Turn me on to it.
So Venus carves a pentagram in the sky every 8 years. And the way it works is Venus has a period of 260 days. Yeah. It starts with Venus, what's called the heliacal rising of Venus. The heliacal, which means helios, the sun. It means Venus rising before the sun, 1 minute before the sun. Okay, that begins the 584-day cycle, right?
Wow, so 1 minute before the sun.
Right.
Wow.
That begins a cycle, and let's say that it's at 0 degrees Aries, right?
Right.
So 260 days, it spends as the morning star, then it disappears for about 2 weeks, then it reappears as the evening star for another 260 days, then it disappears for about 2 weeks, and then it reappears in a sign that is 144 degrees away from where it was 584 days earlier, right? Then 584 days, 584 days, 584 days, 584 days, 8 years, and you have a pentagram.
Wow.
Wow.
Right. It doesn't return to the exact degree, obviously. It moves like a half a degree or whatever. But it moves around in it over time, as a pentagram. And the ancients knew this, right? So when you drew a pentagram, they knew that you were talking about Venus. Also, if you look at like the Sumerians and even the Celts, when they would draw an 8-pointed star, they were talking about Venus. They were referring to Venus as well. So when you see these ancient stelas,
so David, so if we have Venus carving a pentagram in the sky, what does this mean emotionally? What's the symbolism with Venus?
Harmony. Harmony. Exactly, because that's what the pentagram represents, harmony, because it's related to the phi ratio.
Oh, how is it related to pi?
Phi?
Yeah.
Because every line in the pentagram reveals phi ratio. Okay, the ratio of 1 to 1.618 or 1.618 to 1.
Yeah, the shape of the legs in relationship to the full line.
Exactly.
Exactly. 2.1416. Wow, fascinating.
Times
well, I'm really
72.
interested in the symbolism of Venus. Then Venus, of course, then must fundamentally be about relationship, which I think of the relationships with all others and all elemental beings, and the relationship of ourselves through the arts to each other is probably the entire future of the human evolution pattern, because we're due very quickly to slip past capitalism and its imperial order and the great days of empire building, which we are going to rapidly leave behind as we shrink the technologies and expand our hearts and our consciousness. So I'm real excited about these times. David, what are you up to with this? With this current? What are you up to these days? What is the most important thing you're dreaming up or working on?
Okay, didn't we just talk about this earlier?
On just based time.
Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I'm in the middle of a year-long series of books that are. It started last April 21st, where I write 10 questions on divine metaphysics every day and post them on social media, and then every 90 days I make that into a book. And so today is day number 320, so I've got another 45 days. And when I make those into a book, it's on those words on my original photography and paintings, and so each page is designed to be a 6-foot by 9-foot print on canvas as part of a traveling exhibition, and so then at night between writing those nonfiction books, I've been writing a series of novels. And right now I'm working on a novel on Enoch, and that'll be the 7th novel that will have done in the past 3 years. And so when these two books are done, I'm working on the last of the 4 year-long series books on divine metaphysics. When they're done, I will have written and published, self-published my 26th and 27th book. And
wow.
So
fascinating.
From that, I'm not up to much.
David, are you free or do you have enough income to sustain you as an artist? How does that work in your life? And what do you think other people should do who are stuck in so many different worlds? What do you think?
If you've ever read Siddhartha, right?
Yeah.
There's a point at which Siddhartha, he's been fasting, he's been trying to be a Buddha out in the wilderness and everything like that. And one day he goes down to the river and he looks across the river and there's the most beautiful woman he's ever seen in his life. And he's like, I'm going to marry that woman, right? But he looks at himself and he says, I've got nothing. And so he goes to the most wealthy person in the town, the nearest town, and he wants to get hired to run his, to work for this guy, to make the money, to make himself presentable to this woman that he wants to marry, right? And he goes, he says to him, the wealthy man says, what can you do for me? He's saying, what are your skills? And he says, I can fast. I can sit. And I can wait. Right?
Yeah.
So basically, once you've learned how to go hungry, you're not afraid of going hungry. And you're not afraid that you're going to miss the party. Then you can pretty much, whatever comes is a celebration. If you make $5, then, you go to the 99-cent store and you're good to go. You know what I'm saying? You could eat. There was
a feast for $5 at the 99-cent store.
One time I made, I was trying to publish this book, and the computer wouldn't let me publish the book for 7 days, and I didn't know it was going to take 7 days, and so I couldn't work for those 7 days because like any minute I'm publishing this book, right? So I was going hungry, but I was focused on publishing the book, and finally I'm in the middle of the last moment when it's going to get published. It's like 20 minutes away from it, I'm getting the flash that says it's going to be published. And this friend walks up and says, have you eaten today? And I said, what would make you say that? What would make you ask? He said, I don't know. Something just told me that, he says, here's $10, man. I said, I haven't eaten in a week.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So anyway, I set up on the boardwalk and I make whatever comes and, sell prints of my paintings and whatever. And that's enough for me. I'm not supporting anybody else. I live out of my Volkswagen bus and we make it work. Me and the universe, we have a deal.
Yeah. Your Buddha bowl. You sort of live by the Buddha bowl ritual of being in a social milieu and offer your consciousness to it. I suppose that's the way we all really do it. I mean, we all manage to slip through in this grid of consciousness, which is, basically designed to entrap you as a productive member of society rather than a advancing consciousness. Well, David, you've been in Venice a long time. What do you think of the cultural climate right now, and how do we get heaven on earth? How close is Venice to Venus?
Right. I love your question because that is our destiny, is to bring heaven to earth. Since consciousness moved into the realms of density, it has established that celestial economy on each level, on the causal plane and then the astral plane and the etheric plane, and now here we are in the physical, and we're attempting to get past our devil card, our realm of fear,
right,
and to bring it, because I spend a lot of time for the past 20 or some odd years. I go to rainbow gatherings and help to focalize rainbow gatherings all over the world, which is basically heaven on earth. There's no money, right?
Yeah.
And there's nobody in charge. It's all run by consensus, council, and initiative. And people, if somebody wants to eat, then they're like, hey, everybody, is anybody else hungry? Let's, if we want to build a fire, somebody want to cut some vegetables, somebody want to go get the vegetables, somebody want to grow the vegetables. You know what I mean? And it all happens because people feel like, hey, let's do this. And it's not like, oh, man, we have to do this. It's hey, let's have some fun digging a hole in the ground so people can poop in it. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm serious. Some of the best times I've ever had in the woods was digging a hole for people to poop in with a whole lot of other people. I walk out there and I say, hey, anybody want to help dig a pooper? And people come, I don't got nothing better to do. Let's go dig a hole, and it becomes like a game to dig a hole and have fun. That's heaven on earth.
Right.
Yeah, heaven on earth. And that's a good point. That's a great kind of concept of heaven on earth. Heaven on earth happened for me when I got to Hawaii early days, and my friends were living on McKenna Beach, and I joined them out there. And the way it worked out there was a whole tribe of people that were self-creative, self-regulating, self-feeding. And somehow the team of girls and women would gather, and they'd gather enough nickels and dimes to go get the milk and the flour. And the boys and the guys would go out and catch all the fish that they could and sea critters. And everybody would get together and we'd all be fed. For me, it was just breathtaking to sit under my little palm and watch this flow of life self-organize, this beautiful quality of this Polynesian ecstatic life of just being a part of the true flow of nature. It was just great.
What year was that?
This is in the early 70s.
I was there in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Story.
Well, it's still pretty good. McKenna has now been developed by the big hotel people, and the great sacred spots are being gobbled up and not being used for the sacred communal activities of being human. So we have a mission here. We have to begin to return ourselves to the deep enfoldment of nature and her own natural ways in order to thrive. That's at the arts culture, man. This is why we're talking to you today, because you've managed to be this incredible visionary artist and still be a humble social human animal at the same time. I think this getting past the devil card is important. I think that culturally we face the devil right now. We've too long built these empires that serve others in hidden means, and once the light shines in, we begin to have this heaven on earth. Athena is wonderful at articulating this stuff. I really appreciate her sense of, vision, always. It's so good.
Can I give a another flip on this, on the devil card thing?
Yeah.
There is just infinite love, right? And so the devil card is, it's Pan, 60 seconds. The devil card is Pan, and Pan is the divinity that has embraced the material, the physical. And it's not something to be vilified, but that's what we have a tendency to do. The whole idea is to embrace, what we have brought to ourselves, right? 30 seconds. And I want to say this is really wonderful to be able to just hold forth like it means something here on the radio, I feel expressed. I feel expressed over here.
This is so important, and we should all express ourselves. We're getting ready to go to commercial break, but this is Athena StarSeed. I am the host of Heaven on Earth with my lovely co-host Kim Hix. You become your own heaven, and stay tuned. We'll be right back.
If you really want Italian food, you have got to go to Columbo's. Columbo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club, Colorado Boulevard, Eagle Rock. It's that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Ah, yes, the warm weather has triumphantly returned, and the yucca filamatusa are in bloom just in time for Mother's Day. And what better place to enjoy the day than celebrating at Columbo's? Why Columbo's? Because Columbo's is family, and family is getting together, enjoying each other's company without distraction. Columbo's helps put ease back into our lives with mouth-watering steaks prepared the way you want, the freshest fish, Italian specialties that redefine the meaning of comfort food, the world's greatest meatballs, jazz every night, and it's all so affordable. Put some ease back into Mother's Day at Columbo's, because it really is that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Happy Mother's Day. Mangia.
The smartest way for you to get the lowest prices on your plane tickets, domestic or international, is to call SmartFares first or last, but you've got to call us before you book your plane tickets. Fly anywhere in the world, fly anywhere in the U.S., and SmartFares can save you up to 75% on your plane tickets. We have the lowest airline ticket prices on over 500 airlines, and you've got a great 12-hour free cancellation window. Plus, with our live agent help, you can always get fast help and fast answers. So on your next trip, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, how about right now? Pick up your phone and call SmartFares, plus save up to 75% on your plane reservation. So call right now. 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS? Newsflash, the president has changed the tax laws, and now you may be able to pay the IRS less. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, the tax doctor can help you pay the IRS as little as possible allowed by law. There are new tax laws for business owners, the self-employed, even W-2 workers. If you have a back tax problem or a few years of unfilled returns, new help to save you money is now here. Call right now to see how the new tax laws can help you. Plus, right now, we'll waive the consultation fee and give you a free tax savings report. Attention business owners, the self-employed, and W-2 workers. Make this free call to the tax doctor now and learn how to take advantage of the new tax laws that may help you pay the IRS less. 800-985-1610. 800-985-1610. 800-985-1610. That's 800-985-1610.
Supreme grace, light rain down through me. Supreme grace, light rain down through me. Supreme grace, light rain down through me. Rain.
Hi, this is Athena StarSeed. Welcome back to Heaven on Earth. We're on CRN Talk Radio with my gorgeous co-host Kim Hix, all the way from Hawaii. This is our last segment. Kim, let's wrap up the art of the. Are you here? Let's wrap up the art of the devil card. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see. There we go. And we were talking about Scorpio because the devil card is Scorpio. Kim, you're a Scorpio.
I didn't know that. Somebody's got to enlighten me about that. Yeah, I'm a Scorpio.
So Scorpio, the devil card is both Scorpio. It's on the cusp of Scorpio and Sagittarius. All right, because Sagittarius is ruled by ultimately Jupiter, and Jupiter is Zeus, and Zeus is ultimately Pan, and but it's also the bat wings and all that. That's all Scorpionic.
So you were talking about Scorpionic
and Pluto
in general. Go ahead and say all those things you were saying about
Scorpios.
Yeah.
The archetype of Scorpio is, and the keywords for Scorpio, the 8th house, and Pluto are divine communion through sex, death, transformation, rebirth, hidden knowledge, shared resources, power, immortality, reveling in the great mystery, and sharing out its secrets.
Yahoo! I resemble that by my nature.
What this card is all about.
That certainly is. Birth, sex, and death. I mean, that's the full arcana of the life flow state and the reincarnation, of course. So that's a fascinating summation of it. So just to encapsulate, the devil consciousness is simply that part of our own nature that represents a kind of willingness to submit to our own darker nature rather than bringing light to it. Most all of this can be done with enlightenment, as you've been saying, David. I think that's your highest point here, is that this is pure love at the universe itself, and that what we judge as good and evil are neither, just are. I'd love to hear you encapsulate that.
For Scorpio, the 8th house, and Pluto is surrender.
Surrender.
Surrender. In that one word, it tells you both what it is and how to best deal with it. Right?
Fast, sit, and wait that you quoted us before. I thought that was great, but that is surrender right there. To just sit and be and let things be. Wow. David, great stuff.
I'm feeling like it's important for people to understand when you deal with the major arcana is to recognize that the major arcana begin and end with the Fool. And the Fool is the initiate. Okay? So there's two ways of looking at the word initiate. One is somebody who's just beginning, and one who is a person, a bearer of knowledge, one who has completed the journey. And the idea is that it's really a spiral, it's not a circle. But the major arcana is a journey. It basically tells you the journey of the spirit, the journey of the soul, the journey of the seeker, right? And ultimately, what the initiate knows is that you transcend the path of the seeker, right?
Yes.
That ultimately you can play the seeker for as long as you want, but ultimately everybody knows everything anyway, right? Yeah. Everybody's perfection because we all come from the one, and that's what the initiate knows, is they are nothing and they are everything, and so once you know everything and you realize that everything is one, what are you going to do?
Be
if
one.
You're still breathing.
Be at one with it.
15 seconds.
All right, so listen, this has been awesome. Thank you so much. If you'd like to connect with David, he's at davidalexanderenglish.com. This is Heaven on Earth. Thank you so much, Kim. We love you. We'll see you next week.
Check out
Stay
David's
tuned.
artwork, everyone. He's quite something.
Programming is
Thank you,
easier
guys.
than ever. It's right on your TV, through your local cable provider, and on the web at crntalk.com. But when you're on the move, stuck in a plane, train, or in your car, catch up on all the shows you missed. Or